Welcome to History with Herodotus, where we delve into the fascinating tales of our collective past and unravel the intricate threads that have woven the tapestry of human civilization. Today, we embark on a captivating journey through the annals of time to explore one of the most pivotal moments in modern history, the Telegraph Revolution. In the early 19th century, the world was on the cusp of a transformation that would forever alter the fabric of communication, commerce, and society as a whole. Our narrative begins in the late 18th century, when the seeds of innovation were sown by visionaries such as Alessandro Volta, who invented the electric battery in 1800. This groundbreaking invention sparked a flurry of experimentation and discovery, as scientists like Michael Faraday and Hans Christian Ørsted began to unravel the mysteries of electricity. One of the key figures who would play a crucial role in shaping the future of communication was Samuel Morse, an American artist and inventor with a passion for technology. In the 1830s, Morse became fascinated with the potential of electricity to transmit messages over long distances, and he began working on a device that could harness this power. Meanwhile, across the Atlantic, a British scientist named Charles Wheatstone was also exploring the possibilities of electrical communication. In 1837, Wheatstone patented a telegraph system that used a series of needles to point to letters on a dial, allowing messages to be transmitted through a complex system of wires and switches. The Industrial Revolution had created an insatiable demand for faster and more efficient communication, as businesses, governments, and individuals sought to connect with one another across vast distances. In this fertile landscape, innovators like Samuel Morse and Charles Thomas, a skilled mechanic who would become Morse's collaborator, began to develop the first practical telegraph systems. Their work built upon the discoveries of earlier pioneers, such as André-Marie Ampère, who had formulated the fundamental principles of electromagnetism. As we approach the threshold of the telegraph revolution, we find ourselves in the midst of a maelstrom of creative energy, with inventors, entrepreneurs, and scientists working tirelessly to harness the power of electricity and transform the world. The year is 1843, and Samuel Morse is on the verge of a breakthrough that will change the course of history forever. As Samuel Morse stood on the precipice of a breakthrough, his collaboration with Charles Thomas was yielding promising results. In 1843, they successfully transmitted messages over a 2-mile telegraph line, marking a crucial milestone in the development of their system. This achievement sparked a flurry of activity, as Morse and his associates worked tirelessly to refine their technology and expand its capabilities. On May 24, 1844, Morse sent his famous message, "What hath God wrought?" from the Supreme Court chamber in Washington, D.C. to his colleague Alfred Vail in Baltimore, Maryland, over a telegraph line spanning approximately 40 miles. This historic transmission not only demonstrated the feasibility of long-distance communication, but also captured the imagination of the public, sparking widespread interest and enthusiasm for the technology. As news of Morse's achievements spread, entrepreneurs and investors began to take notice, recognizing the vast potential of the telegraph for transforming commerce, finance, and governance. In 1845, the first commercial telegraph line was established between Washington, D.C. and Baltimore, with plans to expand the network rapidly across the United States. The following year, the Magnetic Telegraph Company was founded, marking the beginning of a period of rapid growth and development for the industry. One notable example of the telegraph's impact on commerce was its role in facilitating the expansion of railroads. In 1846, the Erie Railroad became one of the first companies to utilize the telegraph for coordinating train schedules and managing freight operations. This innovation enabled more efficient use of resources, reduced accidents, and improved overall productivity, setting a precedent for the widespread adoption of telegraph technology in the railroad industry. The mid-1840s also saw significant advancements in the development of underwater telegraph cables, which would eventually enable transatlantic communication. In 1845, John Watkins Brett and Charles Bright laid the first underwater telegraph cable across the English Channel, connecting England and France. Although this initial attempt was short-lived due to technical difficulties, it paved the way for future innovations and ultimately led to the successful establishment of a permanent transatlantic telegraph connection in 1858. As the telegraph revolution gained momentum, its influence extended beyond the realm of commerce and industry, shaping the course of politics, journalism, and social discourse. In 1848, the first news agency, the Associated Press, was founded by Moses Yale Beach, leveraging the telegraph to disseminate news rapidly across the United States. This marked a significant shift in the way information was gathered, transmitted, and consumed, with far-reaching implications for the development of modern journalism and public discourse. The years that followed saw an exponential growth in the number of telegraph lines, offices, and operators as the technology became increasingly integral to the fabric of American society. By 1850, over 12,000 miles of telegraph line had been laid, with thousands more being added each year. The telegraph had truly revolutionized communication, facilitating the exchange of ideas, information, and goods across vast distances and forever altering the trajectory of human history. As the 1850s progressed, the telegraph revolution continued to transform the world, with the technology becoming increasingly sophisticated and widespread. The introduction of the telegraph printer in 1853, which enabled messages to be printed automatically, marked a significant improvement in efficiency and accuracy. This innovation, combined with the expansion of underwater cables, facilitated global communication on an unprecedented scale. By the mid-1860s, telegraph lines spanned across the United States, Europe, and Asia, connecting major cities and commercial centers. One notable example of the telegraph's impact during this period was its role in facilitating international diplomacy. In 1859, the first transatlantic telegraph cable was successfully laid, enabling direct communication between the United States and Europe. This breakthrough had far-reaching implications for global politics, as diplomats and leaders could now negotiate and respond to events in real time. As historian Tom Standage noted, the telegraph enabled governments to respond quickly to crises and to coordinate their actions with greater ease, which helped to prevent wars and reduce tensions. The late 1800s saw the rise of competing technologies, including the telephone, which would eventually challenge the telegraph's dominance. However, the telegraph remained a vital component of global communication networks, particularly for long-distance and high-priority messages. The introduction of the stock ticker in 1867, which used telegraph technology to transmit real-time stock prices, further solidified the telegraph's importance in the financial sector. As the 20th century dawned, the telegraph revolution began to give way to new technologies, including radio and eventually the Internet. However, the legacy of the telegraph endured, with many of its underlying principles and infrastructure continuing to shape modern communication systems. Today, the telegraph revolution is remembered as a pivotal moment in human history, marking the beginning of a new era of global interconnectedness. The telegraph's impact on modern society cannot be overstated. It facilitated the growth of global commerce, enabled rapid dissemination of news and information, and transformed the way people communicate. In the words of Samuel Morse, the telegraph is an instrument not only of commerce but of civilization, a testament to the enduring power of innovation to shape our world. That's all for today's History with Herodotus. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, remember that, to understand the present, we must first understand the past.